Hello. So, in the previous lecture, we have studied about kinds of solid, that is crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Then we studied about unit cell, and we studied that 14 kinds of Bravell lattice is possible. Then we have studied about cubic unit cell, body centered unit cell, and face centered unit cell. And we saw the video that how the atoms or the particles are arranged in that unit cell. So, in that unit cell, you see the particles were arranged either at the corners or at the faces or in between the body of the cell, like this. So this was a body-centered cubic unit cell in which the particles are arranged at the corner of the cube and also at the center of the cube. So one atom is at the center, and when you are seeing at the corners, it was 1 upon 8th of an atom. So if you want to see how this 1 upon 8 of an atom is possible, I saw you that video, isn't it? So if you want to see it at home, you can just cut an apple and try to feel that how 1 upon 8 part of that apple looks like, and it will look like this only. Okay. So we have understood this, the number of atoms in unit cell, and we have seen these things: body centered, face centered, and in centered unit cells. And these were the 14 kinds of lattices that are possible according to Bravais. So I told you that these angles can be varied between alpha, beta, and gamma. If it is 90 degree, it can be varied. It may not be 90 degree in some cases. That like it is here 120 degree, and in that way, the variations are possible. And in total, there are 14 variations that is possible, and everyone has a different name. But in class 12, generally you are mostly concerned with these three: body centered, face centered, and in centered. Now, in today's lecture, we will be discussing about the packing of those particles in a crystalline solid. So we see we have understood what is a unit cell, and we know that these unit cells when is like a brick, and when the bricks are combined together, they form a building. So when unit cells are combined together, they form the entire crystalline solid. And so if you in unit cell, if in a unit cell there were atoms at the corners like this, they were arranged 1 2 3 4, okay, and it was arranged in a unit. So in a cuboidal shape it was arranged. Now since this is one unit cell, another unit cell will come here, and the atoms will be arranged like this. Another unit cell may come on top, and the atoms can be arranged like this. So there are various ways in which the atoms or the particles can be arranged. If you see, the atoms are here arranged like this, suppose, and I can place an atom over here either, or in this vicinity I can place an atom to rest here. So there are two ways possible, either like this or in the vicinity, isn't it? So depending upon the ways how we place the atoms, or how the atom is placed, we don't place it, how the atom is placed in a structure, there are various kinds of packaging that is possible. So I will begin this video by showing you a video which will explain you three-dimensionally how is the packaging possible, and I will explain that video to you. Then we will see this PPT, because in that way it will be more clear, because it is more about imagination rather than theory. So you will have to imagine things how it is getting done in 3D. So let us see that video first.
Closed pack structure. In this module,
So it is saying a closed pack structure. These are the particles that we are concerned with, or we can call it atom, and we are assuming that the size are same. So what happens is that the first we will, this is my one atom, and first we will arrange it in one dimension. So in one dimension it can be arranged like this. A row can be made, and it is touching face to face. Can you see it? So the atoms are touching face to face, and it is one row. Now at this point I want to tell you one thing. You see this atom, green atom, is coming in contact with two atoms, two pink atoms. Okay, so there is a term called coordination number, means at a particular time one atom is coming in contact with how many number of atoms. That number of atoms is called coordination number. So if you see for this green atom, it is coming in contact with 2 atoms, so its coordination number will be 2. Similarly, this pink atom is coming in contact with green atoms and orange atoms, so its coordination number will also be 2. Okay, so let us see the video again. So this is how an atom can be arranged in a row. Now we will see hexagonal closed packing structure. So this is for a single row. Then over it another row of atom can be placed, and it is placed in such a way that the atoms are placed in the vicinity of these 2 atoms. So you see a void kind of thing is created. So every atom is placed in the vicinity of these 2 atoms. So this void is getting created, you see, and this is the vicinity that we are talking about. In the same way, the third layer of atom will come and it will again fall in the vicinity of the second layer of atom. Now if you see clearly, the third layer and the first layer are actually aligning. You see this, if I draw a line, it will be in one line, isn't it? It will be in one line. If I draw this line here, now you see again, and this is the fourth layer of atom. Every atom is placed in the vicinity of the bottom atom. So you see this second layer and fourth layer are aligned together, isn't it? You see one line can be drawn here, means it is just above it. The fourth layer is just above the second layer, and the first layer is just, the third layer is just above the first layer. You see these are aligned together. The green ones are aligned and the orange ones are also aligned. So if I call this bottom layer, now you see we are talking about coordination number earlier. So why it is called a hexagonal closed pack structure, if you want to see, you see this atom. Okay, this atom is at a time in contact with how many atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I join the centers of all these 6 atoms, it will form a hexagon. So this is why it is called hexagonal closed pack structure, and it is still in 2 dimension only. 1 dimension and 2 dimension. It is in 2 dimension only. Now we will move to 3rd dimension and we will add atoms in layers backwards. You see, this is what we are talking about. This is a kind of void that is created because we have placed atoms in the vicinity of either atom. So this is a triangular void which is created. We call it void. That is the vacant space. So this space is vacant. Now we will see the packing in 3 dimension. That was 2 dimension, and now we will see 3 dimensions. So one layer over another it will be getting, and it is also placed in the vicinity only. You see all the atoms are placed in the vicinity. So how the atoms are placed, you are seeing here, in the vicinity of the atoms, so that they can rest properly, they are getting placed. Now you see this is one layer and this is second layer, and they are placed in the vicinity of each other. Now you see the voids that is getting created. You see this void that is getting created is surrounded by how many atoms? 1, 2, 3 and 4. One, two, three, four. 4, and this void is surrounded by how many atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 atoms it is getting surrounded by. So it is called octahedral void, and the first one was called tetrahedral void. You can again watch it. You see the void that is getting created. I am talking about this void. If this void is getting created, this void is surrounded by how many atoms? 1, 2, 3 and that backward atom 4. So this void is in touch with 4 atoms, as you can see here. See how many atoms are here? 4 atoms are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is why it is called tetrahedral void. Also it is in the shape of a tetrahedron. Now this you see another void. It is surrounded by how many atoms? 1, 2, 3 and 3 backward. 1, 2, 3. So it is surrounded by 6 atoms. And it is in the shape of octahedron. Octahedron shape this green shape is. So it is also called as octahedral void. So there are two kinds of voids that is possible in a three-dimensional closed pack structure, that is tetrahedral void and octahedral void. Now we are placing the third layer of particles over the second layer, again in the vicinity of the atoms. Now you see, if I call the first layer as A, then my second layer will be, if I call the first layer as A type, my second layer will be B type, because it is placed in the vicinity of the first layer. But if you see, the third layer is just above the first layer, isn't it? The green atoms are aligned, so it can also be called as A type. So basically this will be, the fourth layer will be B type. So what arrangement is it? It is coming AB AB packing pattern in 3 dimension, isn't it? You see A B. So AB packing pattern in 3 dimension it is coming. So this is the hexagonal closed pack structure. Why hexagonal? Because now if you see coordination number is what? The number of atoms that a hexagonal number of atoms that is one atom is being surrounded by. So if I consider one atom, it is surrounded by how many number of atoms at a time? That number of atoms is its coordination number. So let us see. If you see, suppose that green atom is my, this green atom I want to see what is its coordination number. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 number of atoms are there that is surrounding one atom in a AB type hexagonal closed pack structure. So we can say that this has a coordination number of, in hexagonal closed pack structure, the coordination number is 12. That is, one atom is coordinating with 12 atoms at a time. Okay. So this was about that. This was the video that I wanted to show you. Now we will go ahead in the lecture. So let us see the lecture now. So packaging can be done in 3 ways. In 1 dimension, in 2 dimension, or in 3 dimension. We just saw close packing in 1 dimension. Why it is called close packing? Because we are studying solid state and the atoms are closely packed, so it is close packing. And in 1 dimension there is only one way of arranging spheres in 1 dimension closed pack structure, that is to arrange them in a row touching each other like this, isn't it? It is clear. So in this arrangement, if you see, each sphere is in contact with 2 of its neighbors. So if I say this, then it is contact with this and this, so its coordination number is 2. So closed packing in 1 dimension has a coordination number of 2. You have to, closed packing in 1 dimension has a coordination number of 2. You have to remember this. Then 2 dimensional closed packing we just saw. So when the rows are combined touching each other, the crystal plane is obtained, and the rows can be combined in 2 different ways. You see here, the one row is there and another row is placed over it. Now if I place the another row just above the one row, then if this was my A layer, this is again my A layer, this is again my A type, this is again my A type, because I am placing the atoms or the particles just above it, isn't it? Not in the vicinity but above it. If you see, I am placing it above it, here only I am placing it, isn't it? So if you see one atom, it is surrounded by how many atoms at a time? It is in contact with 1, 2, 3 and 4 atoms at a time. Here it is in contact with 4 atoms at a time, and if you join the centers of all the 4 atoms, it will form a square. So it is a square closed pack structure. But there is another way of placing the atoms in 2 dimension, and it is just we saw in the video that we are placing the second atom in the vicinity of the first atom, like here. In the vicinity we are placing the atoms. Again we are placing in the vicinity. So in this process, if this is A type, then this will be my B type layer, And again, if you see, this is coming in one line, isn't it? It is coming in one line. The centers are coming aligned together, so it will again be A type, and this will be B type because this is aligning with this, isn't it? This is aligning with my B layer, sorry. So this is my B type. Now if you see the if you join the corners, if you see the atoms, one atom, this atom, it is coming in contact with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. It is coming in contact with 6 atoms at a time, where it is coming in contact with here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 6 points. By 6 atoms it is getting contact with, and if you join the corners, you see this is coming in the form, in the shape of a hexagon. So it is hexagonal closed pack structure. So when rows are combined, the crystal planes is obtained. The rows can be combined in two different ways, just above the other or in the vicinity, when the particles when placed in the adjacent rows show a horizontal as well as vertical alignment, means horizontal as well as vertical alignment, that is above each other. This type of closed packing is called square closed packing, we just saw. And we call the first row as A type, the second row being exactly the same as the first type, it is also called A type. So the arrangement is also called as AA type of arrangement. Also in this arrangement, each sphere is in contact with 4 of its neighbors, thus the two-dimensional coordination number. Two-dimensional coordination number is how much? It will be 4. Why 4? Because you see, this atom is in contact with 1, 2, 3 and 4 atom at a time. This is not in contact with. This atom is contact in here, here, here and here. So one atom is contact with 4 atoms at a time. So coordination number is 4. So here it is clear, and it is called a square closed packing in 2 dimensions because the shape that is coming is of the form of a square, isn't it? Now you see, when the particles in every next row are placed in the depressions between the particles of the first row, this is the depression that I was talking about. This is the depression. This is the depression. This is the depression. So in the depression, if I keep the particles between the particles of the particles of the third row will be vertically aligned. The particles of the third row, you see, vertical alignment means what? This is my third row, so this is vertically aligned with the first row. This is vertically aligned with the first row. This is vertically aligned with the first row. So the particles of the third row are vertically aligned. Those in the first row. This type of packing gives a hexagonal pattern and is called hexagonal closed packing. We just saw it, no? Hexagonal packing, hexagonal shape was getting formed. Also, the second row may be placed above the first one in a staggered manner such that it is fair fit in the depression of the first row. They are placing in the depression of the vicinity. So if the arrangement of spheres in the first row is called A type, then the second one can be called as B type. So when the third row is placed adjacent to the second, its spheres are aligned with those of the first layer. We just saw it. So hence this layer is also called as A type. So this arrangement is called AB type arrangement. So you have to remember this, that hexagonal closed pack structure in 2 dimensions can be is of AB type, and a square closed packing structure is of AAA type. And in this case there are some empty spaces known as voids. So in both the cases voids are getting formed. These are the voids, and here also these are the voids. So in which case void is smaller? In this case void is smaller, isn't it? In this case void is large. So basically we prefer hexagonal closed pack structure because of the smaller voids, because that the packing is efficient, isn't it? What is meant by efficient packing? Means the atoms are combining the space more, so the void that is getting created will be less. Here the voids are getting created more, so the atoms are combining the space which is less. Now we will see 3-dimensional packing. We have already seen it in video. Let us just read it. That while placing the second square closed pack layer above the first, we follow the same rule that was followed when one row was placed adjacent to other. Means it is now we are first talking about square closed packs. Means we are placing the atoms over one another. That is, they are aligning to each other. So the second layer is placed over the first layer such that the spheres of the upper layer are exactly above those of the first layer. In this arrangement, the spheres of both the layers are perfectly aligned. Okay, similarly we place more layers one over another, and this is called as AA type, isn't it? So this we are talking about is like this: the first layer and the second layer, also the third layer. So all are aligned, And when I say 3 dimension, that means here also it is aligned. So this will also be aligned, this will also be aligned, this will also be aligned. Okay, so this is what a square closed pack structure is looking like, a square closed. So the main point is that it is again AAA type. Okay, you saw now how it is getting done. Now in 3-dimensional closed packing from 2-dimensional hexagonal closed pack layers, we just saw this was the 2-dimension, and we extended it here in the 3rd dimension just by placing one over another. It is placed one over another, one over another. Okay, so that if you see what kind of unit cell it is getting generated, you see 1 2 3 4, isn't it? 4 particles are being connected, also 4 particles are being connected here, and this is 2. So a kind of cube is getting generated now. This cube is being generated. If you see, a cube is getting generated. So this is what it gives birth to unit cell, cubic unit cell. See, these 2 squares are joined together, these 2 squares are joined together, these 2 squares are joined together, and these 2 are joined together. I'm sorry, a square, it is not a square, it is spheres. So these 2 spheres are joined together, 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 and just at the back side also same way the 2 spheres will be joined. So this is what a unit cell is getting formed. Now the placing of the second layer over the first layer, we just saw in the video that how the tetrahedral and octahedral voids were getting created when we are placing the first layer over the second layer. So this is giving birth to hexagonal closed pack structure in 3 dimensions. So wherever a sphere of the second layer is above the void of the first layer, so in earlier case we are talking about the depression, but now when I form a first layer in 3 dimensions, so that will give birth to voids, and then I place the second layer in the first layer. So in these voids I am placing the layers. So these voids are either called tetrahedral voids because a tetrahedron was getting formed when a void is being surrounded by 4 atoms or 4 spheres. So they have been marked as T here. I will show it later. And at other places we just saw that the triangular voids in the second layer are above the triangular voids in the first layer, and the triangular shapes of these do not overlap. So one of them has the apex of the triangular pointing upward and the other has downward. We just saw in the video now. So these have been marked at O because it is octahedral voids. So octahedral voids we saw was surrounded by 6 spheres. So the number of these 2 types of voids depend upon the number of closed pack structure. This is what you have to remember as a formula. If you are asked that how many number of voids are present, then it depends upon the number of closed pack spheres. So if let the number of closed packed spheres, that is how many spheres are present, if the number is n, then the number of octahedral void will be n and the number of tetrahedral void will be 2n for a hexagonal closed pack structure. If I say there are 20 atoms in a hexagonal closed pack structure, then octahedral voids will be 20, tetrahedral voids will be 40. Now let us see here. So you see what is tetrahedral and octahedral void, it is being shown here. You see this is tetrahedral void because only one kind of triangle is formed. So in 3 dimensions it will be in the form of tetrahedron. But here you see octahedral void, a top triangle is formed also and the bottom triangle is also formed. You see like this. Sorry. So this is a octahedral void denoted by O. So this is octahedral void denoted by O, and this is tetrahedral void because only one triangle is formed. Okay, got it. So this is the how tetrahedral and octahedral voids are being formed. If you want, you can count the numbers to just see the formula that it is right or wrong, but it is you just need to remember that if the number of spheres are n, then octahedral voids are n and tetrahedral voids are 2n. You can see here the number of T's are more then the number of ends, because T's are in between also. Okay, so T's are just twice as much as O. If you just want to count, we can also count here, but it will just lengthen the video, so let us not do that. Okay, so coordination number we talked about. Let us again see. So this is the shape of a tetrahedron, and this is the shape of a octahedron, you know. So this was the apex of triangle, and this is the bottom of triangle. Okay, so it is in the shape of octahedron. It has kind of 8 faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again that back face 6, 7, and that back face at 8. Okay, so it has 8 faces. That is, it is tetrahedron. It has 4 faces. 1, 2, 3, and that back face 4 face. So this is how a tetrahedral whole is formed. You see the 3 atoms are there, and 1 atom is placed on the top of it. So tetrahedral. You see this tetrahedron is getting formed, and this is how octahedral is formed. So 3 and again 3 are formed, placed, then the void that is created is octahedral void. You see these 3 and these 3 are placed at top, so whatever the void is getting created, it will be octahedral void. We just saw it in the video. Now we just saw in the video that in both SCP and CCP, that is hexagonal and cubic closed packing methods of stacking, a sphere is in contact with 6 other spheres, isn't it? If one sphere was there, it was in contact with 6 other spheres. We saw it in the video how it is possible. So it directly touches 3 spheres in the layers above and the 3 spheres in the layers below. Thus a sphere has 12 close neighbors. We saw it in the video, isn't it? If you want to see it again, so we just saw it here. In the hexagonal closed pack structure, if you see one atom, let us see here. The 3 at the top are there. Let us see how it is getting counted. You see, this green atom is the reference atom, and how many atoms it is getting counted? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total 12 atoms is there, which is surrounding one atom. So the coordination number that was coming out to be was 12. Okay, so the in SCP and CCP, each sphere has a coordination number of 12. So if you are asked what is the coordination number and how many coordination numbers are there, then you can say that it has 12 coordination number. What is coordination number? Again, I am reminding you that the number of atoms that is present in the vicinity of one particular atom, that is in contact with a particular atom, is called its coordination number. In general, we can say one atom is coordinating with how many atoms at a time is called coordination number. Now we can see the various types of layers that is formed. You see how a tetrahedral void is getting covered. Tetrahedral void of the second layer may be covered by the sphere of the third layer. In this case, the spheres of the third layer are exactly aligned with those of the first layer. Thus the pattern of the spheres is repeated in alternate layers, and this pattern is often written as AB type. So what you have to remember is the examples, that is AB pattern is found in which metals? This is magnesium and zinc. Hexagonal closed pack structure is found in which metal? That is magnesium and zinc. So in hexagonal closed pack structure, AB pattern is found in magnesium and zinc. Now you see how it is possible. So this was my A layer, okay, and if I am placing in the vicinity of first layer every atoms of the second layer, if I am placing it in the vicinity of first layer, then that will be my B layer. And if I am placing again in the vicinity of second layer the third atoms, then it will get aligned with the first layer that we have seen in the video. So this is my AB arrangement, and the tetrahedral voids that were getting created, it will get it will get covered by the upper layer. So here the void was created, it will get covered, it is coming here. Again the void that is created will be getting covered by here. So you see, this is my hexagonal closed packing structure. You see how at every layer hexagon is getting formed, layer by layer. This is hexagon, isn't it? Are you getting? So the things that you have to remember here particularly is that in ABAB type arrangement of hexagonal closed pack structure, the examples are basically magnesium and zinc. Covering octahedral voids. How octahedral voids was created, we just saw. If 3 atoms are at the bottom and 3 atoms are at the top, then the hole that was getting created was octahedral hole, like here. We just saw it. So third layer may be placed above the second layer in a manner such that its spheres cover the octahedral voids. When placed in this manner, the spheres of the third layer are not aligned with those of the either of the first or the second layer, and this arrangement is called C-type arrangement. So only when fourth layer is placed, its spheres are aligned with those of the first layer, and this pattern of layers is often written as ABC type. So it is again the point to remember for you that CCP and FCC, that or face centered cubic structure and cubic closed packed structure. Cubic, CCP means cubic and FCC means face centered, that is they were term side faces also, are which type? ABC type. Means the 3 layers, all the 3 layers are different, only fourth layer is getting repeated, every fourth layer is getting repeated. Okay, so the examples of them are copper and silver. This you have to remember, that copper and silver is an example of face centered FCC or cubic closed packing structure having ABC kind of arrangement. Now you see, this is my A type arrangement in which the 3 atoms are like this. This is my one layer, it is in 3D. Okay, 1 and 2 are at the back. This is my B type arrangement in which 2 atoms are there, you see, and this is again a layer, so it is a layer of 3 rows. Again this is my third layer, it is again a layer of 2 rows, and this is my fourth layer, which is same as the first layer. So you see, these green are getting repeated, so A, B, C again back to A. So this is how this arrangement is there, and the octahedral hole that was there is getting covered. So you see the octahedral hole at the end only, this blue will get covered by the fourth layer, that is A. So this hole that is being generated by this third layer, that is C layer, is getting covered by A, you see here. And these all the holes that were getting covered were they were the tetrahedral holes. The octahedral hole is generated in the C layer, after the C layer, and it is getting covered by A. So the third layer may be placed above the second layer. The third layer may be placed above the second in such a manner that it is sphere covered the octahedral voids. When placed in this manner, the spheres of the third layer are not aligned with those of the either of the first or the second layer. So either of the first or second layers, it is not aligned. So this is called as ABC type of arrangement. We just saw how the tetrahedral holes are created earlier only in the first and second layer. Means tetrahedral holes are created earlier than the octahedral holes. So tetrahedral holes can be covered with AB type of arrangement, but octahedral holes are created at the third layer, only after the placement of third layer. So generally, so it is being covered with ABC type of arrangement. So if somebody asks you how, if the question says that in which pattern tetrahedral hole will be covered, so it will be AB pattern, and in which pattern the octahedral voids or holes can be covered, it will be ABC kind of pattern. Now we just saw that the if you see it in 3D, then the various voids or holes were getting created in a closed pack structure. So the which kind of packing will be more efficient, and when I say more efficient, that means in which kind of packing atoms will occupy the entire space or large amount of space and very little vacant space will be available, will be called as, we will be studying the packing efficiency. So packing efficiency, let us first see in a simple cubic unit cell. What is simple cubic unit cell? The simple cubic unit cell was the one in which the atoms were at the 4 corners, isn't it? At the 8 corners. Only at the 8 corners atoms were present, and that was my simple cubic unit cell. If you want to see the figure again, you can see here. The figure is not there. Okay, let us see here. The figure is here itself. This is my 8 corners A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, and the atoms are present at all the 8 corners touching each other, isn't it? So what is packing efficiency? Let us first see the definition. Packing efficiency is volume occupied by all the spheres in unit cell per unit total volume of unit cell, and if we multiply it by 100 it will give me the percentage. So packing efficiency is calculated in the form of percentage, and it is volume occupied by all the spheres in unit cell upon total volume of unit cell. So what is the volume of unit cell? It will be the volume of cube. And what is the volume of cube? If A is the size of cube, A is the length of edge of cube, so volume of cube is A to the power cube, isn't it? Volume of cube is this. Now we see how do we calculate the volume of all the volume occupied by all the spheres in unit cell. For this we will have to first see what is the radius of these spheres in terms of the length of the length of the edges of the cube. So if you see in 2 dimensions, this is my cube, and this is how the atoms are arranged. Sorry. So only this much portion of my atom was participating in the unit cell, isn't it? So you see this much portion was participating in unit cell. So here it is 1/4, and in 2D it becomes 1/8 part. So 1/8 part of every sphere is participating in my unit cell, isn't it? In the same way here also, and in the same way here also, it is all touching. Okay, so this much part they were participating. Okay, so if you see, if I consider this length of the edge of the cube as A, let A be the edge of the length of the unit cell and R be the radius of my sphere. So this is the radius, isn't it? This center and this is the radius of my sphere. So you see what? This is R and this is R. So R plus R equals to A. So R plus R is 2R. Therefore A equals to 2R. And number of spheres per unit cell is how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 at the back side, which we have studied earlier. So 1/8 into this is 1/4 part, but in reality it is in 3D, so it is 1/8 part. We have seen it in the earlier videos. So 1/8 part, and how many total parts are there? 8 parts are there, 4 here and 4 at the back. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 8 parts at 8 corners are there. So 1/8 into 8. So number of spheres is 1. Total number of spheres is 1. So what is the total volume of a sphere? Total volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cube multiplied by 1. So it will be 4/3 pi r cube only. And volume of the cube is a cube. And what is the value of A? A is 2R. So 2R ka cube, it is 8R cube. So let us find the packing efficiency. So packing efficiency is volume occupied by all the spheres in unit cell upon total volume of unit cell. So volume occupied by all the units in unit cell 4/3 pi r cube, and it is 8R cube. So fraction of space occupied is, this is 4, sorry, this is 4 upon 3 pi RQ upon 8 RQ, and it will come out to be 0.524. So if you multiply it by 100, that is 52.4%. So we can say that in a cubic unit cell, the packing efficiency is 52.4%. That is, you see, these are the void spaces now. These are the void spaces. So only 52.4% of the cube is occupied by the atoms, and rest of the spaces are void. Now the second that we saw was body centered, isn't it? The second that we saw was body centered unit cell. So in body centered unit cell, what was the case? In body centered unit cell, the case was that besides of sorry, let us draw it again. So this is clear, 52.4%, it is clear. Okay, in body centered unit cell, we saw that besides of the atoms at the center, the atom was beside of the atoms at the corner. So corner has atoms as usual. There was one atom at the center also, isn't it? So one atom at the center also we have seen here, like this. One atom at the center also. This is my central atom. So it has more number of atoms. How many atoms it has? 1 upon 8 into 1 plus 1 entire atom was at center. So 1 upon 8 into 1, that is 1, and 1 atom at the center. So 1 into 1. So 1, this is 1 upon 8 part, and how many parts are there? 1 upon 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 in the back of that. So 8. So 1 upon 8 into 8, this was 1 atom, and 1 entire atom at the center, which is here, it is there. So it is 1. So total number of atoms was 2. So I am showing this because here we calculated the packing efficiency of 52.4%. So in the body centers, the packing efficiency will be more because the volume occupied by spheres will be more, because we have one more sphere at the center. So number of spheres are actually increased, and the space that is getting occupied by the sphere is increased. So the packing efficiency should increase. So let us see how much it has increased. So efficiency of packing in body centered cubic structures we have to see. So for that we will first have to calculate the relation between R and A, because in this case the atoms are not joined together. We have seen it in body centered structure that the atoms were not joining together because one atom was entirely in the center. So let us see how we can find the relation between R and A. You see in triangle AFD, you see AFD. So this triangle you suppose take. Okay, AFD triangle, DF equals to B, and we know, suppose DF, this length is DF is B, and it is diagonal of a rectangle, and Pythagoras theorem you apply. So A square plus A square equals to B square, isn't it? This is all sides are A because it is a cube. So A square plus A square equals to B square. So B will be root over 2A. Okay, you see, now you see AF is, suppose the length of AF we are saying here C. Again apply Pythagoras theorem in this triangle AFD. So C square equals to B square plus A square. C square equals to B square plus A square. And what is B square? B square we calculated from this triangle, that B square equals to A square plus A square. So B square equals to A square, and B square equals to A square plus A square was 2A square. From here we are getting this. So C square equals to A square plus 2A square, it is misprint 3A square. Okay, C square equals to 3A square. So C equals to root 3A. C equals to root 3A. And what is C? If you see, what is C? C is this radius plus this diameter and plus this radius. So C equals to R, this is R, this is R, this is R. C equals to 1R, 2R, 3R, 4R. C equals to how much R? C equals to 4R. C equals to 4R. So I can write 4R equals to root 3A. So here I just found out the relation between R and A, that is R equals to root 3 upon 4. So R and A we have found out. Okay. So now we will find out the packing efficiency. Okay. So therefore C equals to 4R, root 3A equals to 4R, this we found out. Or R equals to root 3 by 4A, or A equals to 4R upon root 3. We have found out from here. So now the packing efficiency, what is the formula? Volume occupied by all the spheres in unit cell upon total volume of unit cell. So volume occupied by all the spheres. How many spheres are there? There were 2 spheres. So number of spheres in BCC is 2. So volume of 2 spheres is 2 into 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay. And volume of unit cell is again simply AQ. So AQ is, what is the value of A? 4R upon root 3. So 4R upon root 3 ka Q, this much is coming. So just put in the formula, volume occupied by 2 spheres in unit cell upon total volume of unit cell. So 2 atoms and the volume of atoms is 4 upon 3 pi r cube, and the volume of cube is AQ, and AQ, what is the value of A? 4 upon root 3R. So you solve it and it is coming out to be 68%. Now you see, here it was 52.4% and here it is 68%. So it has increased. Why it has increased? Because one extra atom at the center. Now here we have 2 atoms. Here we had total number of atoms as 1, and here in the CCP and SCP structure, that is, it is actually face centered structure. We have an atom at the face of every atom also. So here the number of atoms are, how many atoms are there in the face centered structure? 4 atoms are there, no? You see, in a face centered atoms, total number of atoms that I have taught you is 4 atoms. So you remember. So 4 atoms are there, and in the same way we will have to calculate the radius relation between R and A first. So to calculate the relation between R and A, let us see, let R be the radius of the sphere and A be the edge. As there are 4 spheres in face centered unit cell, so CCP and SCP are actually FCC, remember. Face centered unit cell. So volume is as usual, volume of 4 spheres will be 4 times 4 into 4 upon 3 pi r cube, and volume of unit cell is AQ. Now we have to find the relation between A and R. So you see, in FCC the corner spheres are in touch with the face centered sphere. This is my corner sphere and this is my face centered sphere. We saw now every face has a sphere at the center. So they are in touch with each other. Since they are in touch with each other, so we will see how the radius is appearing. You see, this is one radius, this is my 2 radius, this is 1 radius and this is 1 radius, that is 2R equals to diameter, total diameter, and this is again 1 radius. You see 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4R equals to what? This diagonal, and this diagonal is how much? AC is, suppose the length of AC is B. If the length of AC is B, then B square equals to, by Pythagoras theorem I know B square equals to A square plus A square, because this is A and this is also A. So B equals to root 2A, and 4R equals to, we can write B. So B equals to root 2A. So R and A relation we have found. R equals to root 2A upon 4. You see here, but AC equals to 4R, AC equals to 4R. Now I am erasing it because you have seen it. So let us be clear. AC equals to 4R. We just saw 1, 2 are this and 1 R. 4R. And but from the right angle triangle ACD, in ACD we saw that the Pythagoras when we apply AC square equals to AD square plus DC square. So AC equals to root over AD square plus DC square. So root over A square plus A square. So root over of 2A square. So root 2 into A. Now 4R, that is AC equals to root 2 into A. So A equals to 4 upon root 2R. So A and R relation we found out. Volume of cube is AQ and value of A is 4 upon root 2R. So root 2, if you, it becomes 2 root 2. Root 2, 4 upon root 2 is 2 root 2. So 2 root 2R ka cube. Now just put here packing efficiency, and you just when the put the values of volume of 4 sphere, that is 4 times 4 upon 3 pi r cube. 4 upon 3 pi r cube is the volume of a sphere and 4 times of it. And volume of cube is 2 root 2 r cube. So r will cancel out. You see the answer coming out to be is 74%. Why 74%? Again it has increased. So it has increased. So volume of packing efficiency of cubic, simple cubic greater than BCC greater than FCC. Why? Because number of atoms are here 1, here 2, here 4. So number of atoms are increasing in a particular, the cube is same. The cube is always same in every case. It has the length of A and breadth of A and height of A. So number of atoms are increasing, so package efficiency is increasing, and it increased up to 74%. Okay. So, and this is this again we can see here, the last topic of today. It is unit cell dimensions. This is again a simple formula to calculate the density of unit cell. What is the density of my unit cell? Density is what? Mass per unit volume. So how many mass it is there and how many volume it is, volume of the unit cell is there and how many mass it is carrying. This will give me the density of unit cell. So this is my unit cell, that is the usual cuboid. It is of cesium chloride structure it is showing. Okay, suppose sodium chloride only. Suppose the age of the unit cell of a cubic crystal determined by X-ray diffraction is A and D is density. Do not get confused with X-ray. Just simply think that its age is A, length of age is A, and density of the solid substance is D is the density. Density is given by D. M is the molar mass. What is molar mass? Mass of 1 mole of substance. And in case of cubic crystal, we know volume is AQ. So its volume is AQ. Let us find out the mass of the unit cell. What will be the mass of unit cell? Number of atoms in the unit cell combined by mass of each atom. It will be the total mass of unit cell. So if number of atoms in unit cell is given by Z and mass of each atom is given by small m, then the mass of the unit cell is Z into small m. So here Z is number of atoms present in one unit cell and small m is mass of single atom. So mass of an atom present in unit cell is m upon Avogadro number. This you have to you must be knowing from mole concept. M number of atoms equals to, because what we know na, mass of an atom present in the unit cell is given by small m upon Avogadro number. So what will be the density then? Density we know is equals to mass upon volume. What is mass? Z into m upon Na. And what is volume? AQ upon AQ times volume of the unit cell is AQ, and mass of the unit cell is Z into molecular mass upon Na. Okay. So now you see first here, this is a small mass. A small m is mass of a single atom. And what is capital M? Capital M is molar mass. What is molar mass? Mass of Na number of atoms. Na means Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of atoms. So m equals to Na number of atoms mass. Okay, now you apply unitary method. Na नंबर ऑफ एटम्स का मास कितना है? m है. हमको कितने एटम्स का मास चाहिए? 1 एटम का. 1 एटम का मास कितना होगा? m अपॉन Na, लेकिन यूनिट सेल में कितना एटम प्रेजेंट है? जेड एटम। जेड कोई नंबर है मेरे पास, तो जेड का कितना होगा? जेड का मास हो जाएगा m/Na इंटू जेड। जेड एटम्स का मास कितना होगा? इतना होगा। सो जेड एटम्स का मास इतना हुआ, सो मास ऑफ यूनिट सेल इज मास ऑफ जेड एटम्स, क्योंकि जेड एटम्स से प्रेजेंट है, सो ये, और वॉल्यूम ऑफ यूनिट सेल इज AQ. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज कमिंग आउट. गॉट इट? सो इफ यू सी, number of chlorine atoms per unit cell is, chlorine are at the center, isn't it? So 1/8 into 8, 1 हो गया. Number of cesium chloride atoms present, so cesium chloride is this, it is present at the center and it is BCCA structure because it is present in one atom at center, so it is also 1. So formula unit per cell is 1. Coordination number of cesium is 8. This we have to remember, coordination number of cesium is 8 and coordination number of chlorine is 8. It will be given in question, don't worry. So mass of unit cell will be how much? Total mass, again it's molar mass upon number of Avogadro number. Okay, so mass of cesium is 133, mass of chlorine is 35, so this much molar mass is present. So this is how you calculate the mass of the unit cell present, it is given. But I have showed you this, you have to remember. Again I am telling you, capital M is molar mass. Molar mass means the mass of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of atoms. That is, molar mass is Avogadro number of mass of Avogadro number of atoms present. So Avogadro number of atoms का mass अगर m है, यानी 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of atoms का mass m है, तो 1 एटम का मास कितना होगा? m/Na. और z एटम्स का मास कितना होगा? तो m/Na इंटू z. यहाँ पे मेरे पास कितना एटम है? z एटम है. z का वैल्यू 1 हो सकता है, 2 हो सकता है, 3 हो सकता है, 4 हो सकता है. तो z इंटू m/Na मेरा z एटम का मास हो गया और वॉल्यूम ऑफ यूनिट सेल हो गया AQ. तो यहाँ से निकल जाएगा डेंसिटी ऑफ यूनिट सेल. गॉट इट? सो टुडे अप टू दिस ओनली. इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर वी विल सी अबाउट